Mighty Rage enabled. He should not have that enabled.
I think
Anyway.
Hunter probably didn't realize that.
That's extra damage, but she was cheating. Man, what a
Damn.
fucking
I don't think he recognized that.
vicious swing into this creature.
That was not our malicious intent.
Yeah.
Rest assured.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Welcome back, Hunter.
This was Malik last week too.
Oh, should I use
Dude, Malik came back from Mondays.
Yeah, am I allowed to use his earphones?
He's not here.
He's not
Go
here.
ahead.
Yeah!
Never play a game your character barbarian again. Never play.
Dude, Exotic did the worst mistake possible of forgetting that those are Hunter's hero points.
Oh,
They're not
I don't
supposed
care.
to work.
I
They're
don't
not-
care. I was striking 3 times. Yeah, 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 yeah.
And it'll pay off.
Holy shit. Hitting more than an under. Classic Linnell. Could never be out.
Dude, you weren't here last week, but like, oh wow, this thing's on the precipice. You were here last week, but everyone landed on here, and all the warpriests landed like AOE spells.
Yeah, dude. It's that bird that I hate.
So many. Yeah, like familiar with.
Anyway,
gotta die
this
from
guy
bleeding.
is super dead because he only has 1 HP. I know that's crazy. As he bleeds.
Incredible.
Religious symbol of Gogunta.
Don't think about that.
Wait, does Luby fucking kill?
Oh no, it just bleeds out. Well, technically it's because of Loomies.
Yeah, it's technically because of Lumi. I mean, Nox is not here to internalize how Lumi's killing the boggards, but
MVP -5.
no hit.
By God's light, I smite ye.
And how does Jonathan do this?
Jonathan doing an epic battle against his boggard. He will take his big great sword and do a horizontal slash and then stab it right in the gut.
And as it does so, the boggart slaps against the wall lifelessly before dropping into the water.
You will not.
I mean, I do have 1 more hero point left.
I'm pretty sure.
I
Nox
don't
will recover.
think it's worth it.
Also, yeah. Dude.
No hit.
See?
How does Lumi do this?
How does Nox describe her weapon?
I don't know if you have time to explain that.
Okay, I'm just gonna, I guess, shoot it, grab it, fly in the air, do a fucking like maneuver, and the frog just blows into sparkles.
Pew! 8
Yeah.
plus 0, because you are under bless in your second.
Fucking damn it. Shift imminence again. To weapon, I mean. To weapon. Then we're gonna strike. Fucking dude. Shut up. Go back to being a sheep, my guy.
That's gonna hit because he's frightened and off guard and you have bless.
Please.
Autis, how do you want to do this? He had 5 HP.
Otis, he's gonna fucking bumble around, and then he's like, God damn it, just die! And strike it from the top to bottom.
One of the swings, in between you flying around, your head being rattled, you being sick, covered in swamp goo, your blade finally connects to its neck, and it will go, and it just plummet into the water.
Or those just normal black beady eyes.
Yeah, it's just normal black beady eyes looking up at you, autistically.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of like rub the top of his head and just try
Sheepishly.
I don't want to push it up. I'm just gonna like guide it to stand up by itself.
And it will, so it's a little jittery. It's one leg that was injured, wrapped around with a splint now thanks to your efforts. It's testing it out, it's kind of stretching it a little bit, not necessarily in a way that would be conducive, but it is nevertheless moving about. it will follow you for the time being. It appears it does warm up to the presence of humanoid figures.
Yeah, it needs to be herded. Come on.
I'm gonna lead it across the same way I went, making sure to try and not get it in the water.
It has 2 hearts. One of it, very large, bulbous, and no longer pulsating, but the other has a smaller human heart attached to it. There are elements of it where there is a human-sized rib cage that is just stretched out unnaturally. There are elements of femurs and hips that are there that are just no longer functioning, and you realize, to your horror, that this creature was not consumed by, or this creature did not consume your brother. Something transfigured your brother into this creature. That is just a working theory, as there's no signs of a digestion that could indicate that it would have it. It also does not make sense for it to carry the spectacles, given that it does have an intense emotional meaning toward that Ronnie did have with it.
Froghemoth heart.
My gods.
It's revolting, it's disgusting, and there's a chance that my brother is the person that was transfigured into this being. And I forget, did we explain, or like was the alternate reality explained to Otis and the others?
Dude.
Or not
to
yet?
Otis.
Not to Otis, okay.
He's
Otis just kind of spawned in.
He
Yeah.
spawned in and he's like, dude, what are they talking about right now?
Yeah. It's something you can ask Dr. Sun when we get back, but yeah, this is my brother, possibly. I took the heart and I'm gonna run some tests back to the lab to see if it truly is him, and V will then pull out the spectacles of inquiry. I had seen them fall out of the froghemoth's body. And these were my brother's glasses, specifically. Curious, really.
Yes.
Hmm.
Us. Most blasphemous.
Disgusting.
Creation.
My brother
sorry.
My brother was a good person. He just got into made some bad choices. I just didn't think it would lead to something like this happening to him. Sorry, we gotta stay focused. Let's just get back to the estate, explain the situation, and make our way back to the clinic. Ananda, you doing okay? I'll take that grunt as a good thing.
The sound of a bell as well, the sort of low ringing, very clunky bell noise of brass hitting each other. The sort of thing that one of the main sheep would have wrapped around its neck. You see a humanoid figure who's carrying this, or leading this crew of sheep, 2 or 3. Do you guys approach this figure?
What do they look like?
Appear to be human from a distance.
Is it not Harvey?
The same hair color,
Could be.
but a much bushier beard.
Oh my god, it's an imposter. We should kill him.
Is he in the direction we're going?
He is.
I mean, we're gonna encounter him anyway.
So that's crazy, because you encounter...
Daniel, I beat the shit out of
Damn.
Actually, no, more brownish, more like dark, between black and brown. It's like a wide leather coat, spacious trousers. I guess is more actually more accurate. And he looks a little bit more puffy, which you could assume there's probably armor underneath all that clothing.
Any signs of weapons that the players could see, or the characters would see?
Yeah, one big. He is holding in one hand a sword and the other a book. He's just It's weird. If you've never, it's weird because he's in the arm he's holding the sword. He's also holding a pen. He's holding two things in one arm, weirdly enough, and every now and then he's just gonna swing at a like a branch or something, just like cut it and make a noise, so the sheep get a little bit scared and like they
hurry
move
the
forward.
pace.
Yeah, they hurry the pace, so they don't stop at one place and start like just sitting.
Now, Daniel, you do already notice the other three. They stand out quite visibly, especially the ones with reddish hair and pinkish hair. The Viking, of course, he blends in pretty well in the swamp environment, frighteningly so. If your eyes were of your natural age, you probably would have actually mistaken him for a terrifying man bear.
I would have considered him a Wendigo.
Yeah. But you see these figures approaching, and you figure they'll catch up to me. They'll ask me questions, and as you think this through, you also hear another meh from to the side, and they also have collected one sheep. And as you convene, what do you say to each other? What do you do? You see both of them. The small doctor pointing an arc pistol at you.
Why do you have those sheep?
I guess wielding a sword is also not exactly the most friendly of manner. Forgive me. And I'm gonna sheath the sword. Look. The reason why I got the sheep, for you. V is the name, right?
I go by Baltimore, correct?
Yes, I've heard many stories, and she's gonna scroll through his books. Give me a second. I've written down some details about all of you, just to, before I meet you, I gotta know my people. I gotta know who I meet, right?
Who are you? And why are you supposed to meet with us?
That is a tough question to answer. How about we sit down?
These two know each other. You've never heard of a Daniel, or not, you actually don't know his name. You've never seen this man before. But there are clear signs that this is a person who can take care of himself, can protect himself, and you do recognize that while he's acting a little suspicious, it does not appear to be outwardly hostile. In fact, his tone and manner of delivery appears to be friendly, genuinely so. Atis, you've never known men in the swamps, occultists, to be the most trustworthy of individuals. But then again, if he was willing to commit any sort of hostile actions, he would not do so, drawing attention with sheep like this.
V will put the like stow their pistol and look to him and say, "I don't bother making the spell. Let's just, if you're truly giving the sheep to us, let's just give these sheep to Shepherd and
I'll say this. Maybe you're like 30 seconds in. So let's say you're 30 seconds in. V, you can choose to say something or let him finish.
No. V was just gonna say, you don't have to spawn a mansion, man. Just stop and we can just talk later. Let's just deliver the sheep."
Do you continue the incantation?
I continue the incantation.
Very well. He ignores your words, and he is adamant on processing through. And as he finishes, the glyphs on the spell on the scroll begin to dissipate. The glyphs itself actually removing from the scroll. The energy is forming around like a clear area of the swamp, and you see etheric construction.
It is just. I think it's just the door though that appears.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. You do see a very resplendent looking door. That's right. It did get renamed to Planar Palace, didn't it?
Yep. They're slow. Sheeps are usually stay in one place until you tell them otherwise. That's why I've been cutting branches constantly before I met you. Just tie them up. We wait here. It's gonna take 10 minutes at best.
And what if during those 10 minutes the sheep get taken again?
Well, who said I can't bring this sheep inside? I just don't want to. But I could just for you.
Oh,
The door is
how
wide
kind of
enough.
you.
And you should. Never know what type of cultists lie around here.
Worry about those cultists. Let's just say they're lacking an extra hand now, to cause them any trouble.
Uh-huh.
You're being
Well,
followed.
We're being followed.
Were. Past tense. If you want later tea, water, I can offer it. There's time for it later, if you want to.
Very well. He'll enter.
What about you, Hunter? Does Unundir
about
go
you?
inside?
What about you, big guy?
He'll duck his head and go inside.
Without much
'Cause I
protest.
assume the
Yeah, it's
doors-
probably not accommodated for people over 7 feet.
It's 10 feet high, so I think it's
Oh
good-
shit,
it's
it is. Yeah,
tall
it is 10 feet high, so giants could go
Yeah.
away.
Oh,
What the fuck?
never mind. Then. Don't have to duck my head.
For the first time.
He will look.
It's
he will
amazing.
look slightly impressed.
I've read about you and your height.
And he'll just walk inside.
Very well.
Right. So, you're gathering sheep for a certain someone I know.
Yes, Harvey Shepherd.
Yes. And I've also heard that you're not specifically big fans of him, right? And,
We have our suspicions.
oh, you should have more than suspicions. That man is a bastard. Very much so. And I want to take him down. Problem is, that's not a one-man army deal. Can't do it myself. Can't do it with others. Because others, very suspicious of me. Can't really tell people that, I want to take this man down, especially when he has such a title, such a prestige, popular name. All of you, you think there's something there. I'm gonna point at Vothamal. I've heard you took down a criminal cultist named Dronir in the past,
That's correct.
and you, Anunder. I'm pronouncing that correctly, right? You keep repeating for these, and I quote, kraken-headed fucks. And many people don't believe you because it sounds like a lunatic's. Well, let me tell you, I do believe you. You're talking about the Migos, right? And I'm gonna show a picture of a I have probably a drawing of a Migo, probably. Do I?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they would definitely be sketches.
Yeah, and I have. I'm gonna like point the move the tome to him, still holding it in my hand and just showing it to him.
What did you say beforehand? Sorry.
I know a lot of things. Am I correct to suspect that these kraken-headed fucks you talk about are the Migos? These right here.
I am looking for these Migos.
Ah, splendid. Unfortunately, the other party members, they're gone.
They went on ahead to deliver the one sheep that we were to rescue.
Fair enough. To meet Sir John himself and that little girl. What was her name?
Lumion.
Domina? Yeah.
Or Linnell? Linnell.
Yeah. They have information that I want to join this party, but I have as well some benefits. Another, I can help you find amigos quite easily, actually. They're not exactly the most smartest when it comes to leaving behind their tracks. As for you, Valdemal, I have some information about the pool room. Something about a family, a royalty that is currently possessing that place.
Or raise an eyebrow. Could V make an assumption about who they're talking about?
Yeah.
Is it the Rain Clan?
Probably. There's no other that would claim ownership over
Yeah.
parts of the pool room.
Gonna lift one of their eyebrows and say, "Are you
out of his
talking about the
position.
Main Clan?"
And you see, he owes me something. And I'm planning on taking it. As for
Okay.
you... Atis? You're a cleric. Yeah. Haven't read much about you. I'm assuming you're a cleric of sorts.
Some ways, I suppose.
Right. Don't have much to offer you exactly. You see, you were a last-minute introduction to this whole plan. Do you want something?
Not really. I don't think
Oh.
I can quite trust you yet.
If I may interject, who the hell are you? And why do you know so much about us?
You've yet to introduce your own name, or
Ah,
your motives.
but... The simple fact is, I want that man down from his throne so I can drag him to this manor and have a little bit of a chat with him.
To
Take
what
from you.
ends?
He didn't take anything from me. He was just a very, very awful, how do I say this? Friend, communicator, and business partner.
So you were a friend of Harvey Shepherd?
No, I wouldn't say a friend. I guess I did say friend, but I didn't even mean it. He was an
You were-
acquaintance.
Okay, and he did something and negatively impacted you, and you want revenge against him. Okay,
Yeah,
understandable.
I guess revenge is more
How
of
do
a
you
simple
know us?
term, but yeah. You see, this book right here, and this pen, you can do wonders when you start looking around and start talking to people. There's a lot of whispers about you people. From one person knows one thing, one person knows another thing. You piece again the puzzles and you eventually find the information about that person. The truth be told, I've just been doing my research. There's nothing else.
What is wrong with this guy?
This dude just called himself a good boy.
Demeter makes most suspicious man possible,
Dude, that's
So-
what
and it's
thumbprint
just a
said,
guy.
This man, who appears to be in his late 30s, early 40s,
Oh my god,
uh,
pushing 40s.
he has approached you. Now, whether or not he has altruism in his heart is debatable, but you have very few allies in this very specific circumstance with this very specific enemy. Now, whether or not this is the sort of man who would backstab you, probably not. He already knows you, all of you well enough that you all have your own connections and your own power. But needless to say, his vitriol against Harvey Shepherd is clear and it is certain.
Very specific situation, and I need them. Because if you refuse right here, you're going to be struggling much more with one less ally, especially me, who has done much research on these people, the Yellow Cultists. But I will also struggle as well.
And
Very
really,
much.
Realistically, we don't really have another choice. This really is just a good option for both parties. Honestly, why not?
That's what I like to hear.
See, when you say things like that, you don't make yourself trustworthy.
Well, I'm sorry I sound like that. Do you want me to change my accent? Or my demeanor? I can't do that. That's a part of my nature. Take it or leave it. Please take it.
Vothal's gonna look to Otis and go, Otis, realistically, we really don't have many allies to begin with.
No.
Eye, as in the occult eye, he is a terrifying force of nature. He is known to hunt down aberrations and demons, in his past in the night, essentially. The story that you would be privy to, given your extensive time in this field, was that he has fought Migos, and he has fought mind flayers. You would only know that at some point there was an Elder Brain. Emphasis that there was. And he and another motley crew took it down a number of years ago. And again, no one else would be privy to this knowledge. Purposefully so, but...
Not even in this table?
No one at this table would know. And this only makes it a point to avoid it.
Brain. Yada yada yada.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm sure that's true. I believe it.
Hmm? You don't know the story?
No, he hasn't really relayed that information to me.
Then forget I mentioned it.
Okay.
Uh,
I believe we're done here then, if this is all you were asking me to do.
yes. Let me just finish my tea. Wow, that was hot.
You didn't give it enough chance to cool.
Mm-mm.
You might have gotten some sort of degree of burns on your tongue.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure the shepherds will have tea for us anyways.
Why is it always tea? And Vivi's gonna like reach into their bag. Percy, could I make some quick burn medicine to help his tongue?
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm just gonna roll crafting. What's this information you have about the Rain Clan? If you say a little
A bit too early for that. You said you don't trust me. How about
counterpoint, I just fixed your tongue.
Counterpoint, I could just give you something else. A talisman of sorts. Granted, it will expire by the next. It will expire by the next day, but it's still a talisman. Do you want it?
No.
You're frustrating to cooperate with, Daniel.
I know.
I
That
want
is
to apologize, honestly. John is much better at negotiating and talking to than me and I suppose now Otis.
What are we? 5?
That is why I offer everyone information. Not just her, not just them, but everyone. Sorry, the tongue is still slippery. But I'm offering everyone information, including you. You may not know what you want now, but who knows? Tomorrow, the next day, a week or so, someone is gonna do something you're gonna hate, and you would want that creature found, and I can do that for you.
Let me tell you, Daniel, I am not allowed to hate. To decide that. My gods will inform me. You have nothing to offer me.
Not yet. I still believe everyone wants something eventually. As in time.
Alright.
We'll take care of it later.
Is Percy, is Harvey around here?
He's probably inside, maybe. Or maybe he's not attending today.
Alright. So, let's just say I am going to sit here and wait. Don't want to be introduced to those people.
Oh, the daughter is actually quite nice. If you can
Probably.
believe it.
Possibly. But it's difficult if I give any information. Nowadays it's kind of difficult to stay hidden, especially with all those modern cameras and schmuck. Don't you worry about it, I'll be waiting here.
We won't be too long, don't worry.
Take your time.
Vothma will begin to lead the sheep into the manor.
Perhaps even herd them.
Oh my god. Becoming a herder. So.
If you shepherd too long, you actually became a worm.
And so, making your way inside, you leave Daniel behind as he looks around and trudges about the perimeter.
Get out.
The sheep immediately go to various points courtyard here, as if they've adjusted it or have been at least familiar with the area. They begin relaxing and rolling around and just standing idly, chewing on some of the grass. You make your way inside as the door itself is unlocked. You enter the interior.
Open the door.
Whether it's the uniforms the Alticians and the Zerayans wear and for their military attire, to the fact that a lot of people love collecting figurines and war pieces. War games are popular set during the Black Powder era. Gyseric was said to be a master of black powder magic. That's what the soldiers claim to say he was proficient in. That he started off as an artillery officer before mastering alchemy and black powder magic, and was able to coat his sword or his saber, striking his enemies and watching as the sparks of his sword, imbued with flame runes, would set off against the flesh of his foes. It was a terrifying sight. And King Gyseric was, in the popular conscious, known to be short, but in reality was likely average height for his historical figure. You hear the familiar heels, footsteps of Haley Shepherd, and she goes, "Oh, welcome back, darlings. So nice to see you again." She goes down the stairs, and she begins to sit down on one of the chairs. "I've already been told that some of the sheep that the others have brought in they're already here. Talking about the one with the egg-looking fella, the knight, and the pink-haired lass. I already told them they're free to go. Go on ahead."
I see. Well, just wanted to, just bring back the rest of the sheep that we had found, and just ask you to inform your father that job well done, folks.
I mean, you can inform Daddy here in a second. He's currently in the restroom.
Oh. All right then.
She kind of twiddles her thumbs as she waits.
To Haley and say, "Haley, do you tend to the sheep at all, or is that strictly something your father does?"
Oh, Dad has been teaching me how to tend to the sheep. Yeah, I've got some basic knowledge on how to treat the farm animals.
Okay. One of the sheep sustained some really bad injuries. I fixed it up a little bit, but it's still going to be in a good bit of pain. Tonight I can try and produce some pain medication for it.
Oh, I would love that. Yeah, I would love that. Thank you.
Try and get it your way.
That would be quite helpful, especially in case one of these poor sheep, get hurt again.
Oh, well, God's forbid, right?
God's forbid.
Besides that, the rest of the sheep seem to be fine. Although and just gotta tell your father what and who stole them.
Before complaint. One where it's you looking very uncomfortable with Harvey Shepherd smiling at the camera. He goes, "Look, that's you."
I was never good with pictures.
Yeah, you look like a mess, but that's okay. That's something to look back on with a little bit of a cherished memory with Daddy.
I suppose so.
Well, I hope you all get along with Daddy just fine. He has high hopes for all of you.
Does he know?
Aye, indeed, to make this city great, to expand out beyond the swamps.
Hold on, he wanted us to do more things for him? I thought it was just this.
Well, I mean, that's what he's hoping for. You guys do love working with Daddy, yeah?
I mean, it's not typically my usual line of work.
Is that so? I mean, I understand, I guess.
Believe me. Pleasure, but we're all busy people, especially Votham.
Nah, I understand. Her shoulders slump.
But
I suppose, though, every now and then wouldn't be the worst thing.
She looks up, she goes, "I mean, there's a lot of work, Daddy. Daddy and I could find with you guys."
I'm sure you could. You know, I don't know how much my workload is going to increase back at the clinic, and with other opportunities.
Hopefully not too much famous doctor.
I wanna expand my wings, so to speak.
Daddy did mention that there is some unscrupulous and seedy activity going down in the lower city of Zorea, and he isn't keen on wanting to interfere. He said to let the people of Zorea solve their own problems.
Well, that's typical of the people that live up here in Altosia. They don't really care too much about the problems or worries of people in Zorea.
I don't know much about Zorea, but I hope the people down there are at least finding some measure of happiness.
I don't want to make it sound like it's a terrible place to live there, but there's still like things to do and, you know, at least fun times that you could have down in Zorea. It's just with my profession, I just usually see the worst of it.
No, I understand. Leather-bound shoes on wooden board.
Did we hear flushing?
I mean, the manor's so big. How could you possibly hear flushing during this conversation?
It was a double flusher.
Dude, so real. Oh, I hope this man, dude. If this man
It's
Harvey
just-
walks in, if this dude walks in with dry hands, oh, that's disgusting.
Active perception check.
You stink.
And you see Harvey Shepard. He has his hand laid upon his daughter's shoulder, and she looks up at him with a twinkle in her eyes, and he says, "Thank you for entertaining the guests, darling." And she will nod, and she goes, "Bye bye, guys. I gotta go prepare for my studies. I hope to see you all soon."
We will just nod and just kind of wave her off.
I just will smile and wave.
And she'll wave. And Harvey will sit down where she was seated, as he pulls the ashtray that was on the coffee table closer to him, and he pulls out his cigar, and he goes, and he takes out a lighter, turns it on, begins to take a few drags of the cigar before going, "All right, the sheep. I see that you have managed to procure some of them."
That's true. Yes, we got about. Crazy. How many sheep did we get? We got like 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were only able to salvage 5. We traced them back to a cave where some boggard cultists took them, and there was only one surviving sheep from that. And
Boggards, nasty creatures. They've been harassing some of the farmers and hunters and shepherds around these parts.
Yeah. I know there's that law saying that if we see a boggard, just to slay them immediately. But yeah, that was really all it was. Just a bunch of boggards in that cave and a whole bunch of sheep carcasses. We were able to save one, and it still took some pretty heavy damage.
Is it just boggards? You didn't see anything else? According to some of the things my daughter was saying, it was some pretty big monster. You sure it was just boggards?
It was boggards and a froghemoth, if you know what that is.
I've seen some monstrosities out in the swamps. You needn't explain them.
Alright. It was about 4 of those boggards and one big froghemoth, but we took care of it pretty easily.
I had no doubt you would take it on easily. That's why I sent you all in. If I was worried that your lives would be at stake, I wouldn't have done so. I know how proficient how much of a proficient killer you all are.
Anything else to say? That should be everything at least. Your sheeps are all back. One of the sheep that we found in the cave did suffer some pretty hefty damage. I told Haley that I could try and produce some sort of pain medication over the night, and send it your way. At least to apply to the sheep, so it can recover the use of its leg a little better.
Much appreciated.
But besides all that, we believe we're done here for the day.
Very well. I can't let you out of the manor without a proper reward now, can I?
I suppose not. What did you have in mind?
If you give me a moment, you all relax right here. I'm gonna go fetch some corn from the treasury. Make yourselves at home, alright?
very good tea earlier.
Very well. At least the least we can do is cover up the stench, and he will pull out a very big. It's a very it's about like a tennis ball sized cologne bottle. And it says, "It's men's cologne. I hope you all don't mind that. I know some of you are more on the different side of the gender spectrum."
I imagine he looks at Artis and Valve.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
If he's just gonna look, just gonna wordlessly just kind of keep looking.
He just sprays it in your guys' directions. He doesn't like do it directly on each of you, just like in your general area. And he goes, "My daughter was too kind. She couldn't say you all stink."
Well, that's what working in the swamp does.
Indeed. I'll be back.
I mean, at least I'm a very busy person with the clinic and everything. I can try and find time, but I can't guarantee it.
I hope you find the time. It would be most beneficial, I assure you.
I mean, I'm sure it would. I mean, this is certainly beneficial, and Vivi's gonna kind of like reference to the 1,000 gold that they were just paid, and say, if there's nothing else for today, Mr. Shepard, I believe we are. Sorry, me the player was yawning. If he's not tired. I believe we're done for the day.
He takes another drag of his cigar and goes, "Indeed, you all free to go."
Artis will stand up and look at Harvey and say, "I just have one more question, if you don't mind, a personal one."
At the smallest hint of weakness.
It's not my concern. Why won't you miss them once you outlive your own family?
I've read the books of elvish philosophers. I've seen men and women come and go. I have outlived some of my children, yes. It's a thing I've accepted long ago, with my very condition. Mourning the loss of others, I find time to grieve, but I find time to move on. Life moves forward. So do my plans.
I assume he's probably speaking truth, but Artis.
It's hard to really gauge the measure of a man, both clouded in cigar smoke. But those yellow eyes keep drawing you in. And there is a certain conviction that this Harvey Shepard has is unbreaking. And while you may be the Warbreaker, no one has broken his will in quite some time. No one has managed to even bend his convictions in quite some time. It is impossible to say in this moment if he is genuinely considering his daughter's well-being, or if this is simply a convenient means to spreading his influence. He has played the game, and he's playing it right now in front of all of you. Even if the others don't even know anything about a great game, you certainly do. Those things, the light will call to them. They will bask in yellow. You can't stop it. I'm here as a catalyst. I won't beat around the bush. You know what I want, and I know you will try to stop me. I'm simply wondering how long you will keep up this game. This may be your most difficult challenge yet, because unlike the other cultists who have made their presence known, I'm firmly entrenched in civilization.
Your daughter, Haley. I believe she deserves better. And I'll find a way to get you out of your trance with this yellow
Make
king.
no mistake, Mr. Artis, there is no trance. The agreement I have with my patron deity is on equal footing. That's what separates me from the others.
We shall see. I am done. This will leave.
He looked a little. There's a bit of adrenaline probably pumping through his veins, but otherwise he seems confident.
I kind of look at him and say, "You're an interesting man, Mr. Shepard."
He'll nod and he'll say, I've heard that said plenty of times. I hope my interests are held in your attention and your regard for a long time.
Well, you know what they say. Only time will tell. Maybe we'll just kind of shrug and make their way out the door.
As you all leave the front doors to the manor, ethereal energy will close them shut and
Haley
lock
comes
the
down.
door. Daddy is all the guests, and he will nod. He will look up and say, "Don't worry, doll. I'll come up there and I'll help you with your homework. Don't worry." And she will smile as he will exit out his chair and go help his daughter with the homework assignments due tomorrow.
Give us a straight answer, even if we did ask him.
They never do.
What I will say though is, I could tell you certainly got under his skin. At least that proves that he isn't as invincible as he thinks he is.
Question is, he might have an immortal body, but I want to know how mortal his mind is. Well, he seems to prove himself. Anyways, I'll go.
Let's just make our way back to the clinic, but I have to make a pit stop in Altissia first. If you know the way back to the clinic, right?
We'd like to see the shepherd. He seems to be
course.
still inside.
Oh no. Met him already. Met him many times. Don't need to meet him now.
Nice.
Especially, let's just say we've not met in quite a long time, and if we met now, he will suspect something.
He's plenty suspicious already. But very well.
I do not wish for him to suspect me.
Follow along. We go to our home base.
Ooh, a base of operation. A base of operation.
Yes, plenty of operations actually.
What do you have? A tavern with a hidden door, or mayhaps plenty of a house with an underground staircase? What is it?
A healer's clinic.
Oh, you're being serious. Oh, you know.
I've interacted with your kind before. Rarely, but I have.
Well, I'm a little bit thaumaturge. You see, many thaumaturges have different ways to find weaknesses and apply them. I have a special way myself.
That's so.
Yes. I guess next time you see me in battle, you'll see.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Oh boy, there will be battle. What we're currently experiencing is very much a war.
No. I wouldn't want to escalate it to that.
Unfortunately, it's already too late, my boy. Say, how old are you? It is simple, because if I give it now, who knows? What is stomping you lot to cut me down like a rope?
Because you still have more information. It wouldn't hurt to give up one piece away. And until then,
Fine, fine. I'll give the information when we reach that clinic. Say, it's not Voldemort's clinic, is it?
no, it's not a clinic, what I could tell.
Ah. Not been there exactly.
No, you're not from Soraya.
Oh, damn. Let me get my handkerchief. But they retire right after that. Dangerous business, especially when you're dealing with creatures that kinda tend to hate you.
Yes. Because you killed them.
Oh, it's not just killing. It's sending a message, so to speak, with some of them. With devils specifically, and fae. Now, some fae don't exactly die, same with devils. When you slay them in this world, they simply just go back to your original realm. That's where you need to kill them. That's where they simply die. But killing them in this world will simply just send them back to their realm. For how long? Well, don't know the specific details, but it's around a month, a year, around there. It's grounding them, so to speak. Devils are free to roam freely in these planes.
You should. It is not a trivial matter, this balance. Introduce us. And Celestials get arrogant. They're not all good. Not in a classical sense. And neither are devils classically evil. Though most are.
What is Ates wearing specifically?
He is wearing currently he has plate armor, very form-fitting, and sort of seems to be a lot more bendy than one might expect, and most importantly, it also seems to have a dark glow to it, like it sucks in light rather than lets off. A whole council of them. But that is all you need to know.
Very well.
And you are Daniel von Butcher, the monster hunter. In your what, 30s to 40s?
A little bit higher.
That's mid-40s?
He's not gonna say anything. He's looking at his book, and he's gonna do the gesture of like raise it higher. He's gonna, yeah.
Are you suggesting immortality?
Oh no.
No.
That is a devil's bargain, and to be quite frank, it is very much a bait.
Right, and I'm oversworn.
Then you know how it is difficult to break one. And if you do attempt to break one, it is you get punished not by the person who made it to you, but by the universe. Something mysterious. Still not researched, still not exactly known by mortals, but I'm getting closer to the answer, so to speak. Hypotheses.
And you made one of these Faustian bargains?
No. A Faustian bargain implies that I've sold for great power, and then I will eternally serve some cunt devil in hell for eternity. No. Who I made a contract with, I cannot tell you because it's a part of the contract. But let me assure you, it is not a devil.
I'll take your word for it. Being either?
Huh.
It's of no matter. You don't
Yeah,
have
it's
to-
better not to risk it. And also, it's fun to guess, is it not?
Well, I'm not a guessing man. I think you'll find plenty of guessing men and gamblers around here.
Oh, believe me, I've already met them all. A lot of them. Some of them made contracts with devils. Say, you want to hear a story? Some of them are very righteous in a way, almost like a champion. They will cleanse the person before even finding the source of it. See, if I killed that man right there, it would alert the people that somebody knows them. But also, it would also not get me close to the source. It's a waste of time. So, in preparation beforehand, a tavern crafted a trinket. Simple trinket. Put someone's blood. Works like a compass. Points to the person. And so, I tracked the person down who made the contract, and he led me straight to the Hydra's lair, where I killed them all one by one, sending them back to hell where they belong. Great story, isn't it?
Indeed. And I might even too.
Oh, come on. Believe me.
Of course, believe the words of our thaumaturge.
Okay, what does that mean now? What? Now modern day thaumaturges are liars, is that what I'm hearing?
About modern day. News have a history of being coin flips, you know? One will produce a stake at our zombie and convince me it works just like a vampire's.
Guess you can convince them all. I don't know. Don't know about other thaumaturges. Frankly, do not care.
Oh, here we are.
No sign of Voldemort just yet.
I'd like to introduce Daniel von Butcher here. A companion of ours for now.
Monica and
Pleasure is
Isabella
mine.
wave. Monica will say, Mr. Von Butcher, if you don't mind waiting, I'm sure V will enter the clinic soon enough, and you guys can get squared away with your business, whatever that business is.
I just will nod.
You can sit in the break room, or you can go to the waiting room.
Too far! He's always here, isn't he?
Yeah, he's just chilling.
Why is he always here?
Because he drives for Blackwell.
Okay, I thought he just has some medical problems that needs daily.
I mean, he does. Oh no, he does.
It's a problem.
Or is he out for the day?
I believe he is out for the day. We can send him a message if you'd like, Monica says.
Oh no, don't bother. I'll probably get back with him if I need to. There hasn't been slow at the clinic so far?
Yeah, not many people today. There were only a few, but Blackwell and Farah took care of it.
Okay.
Work your way up. You do see your two compatriots and Mr. Von Butcher.
Dude, that's crazy.
Bro, I am Dude, I am
the
a
third
ally.
floor. I mean, you can take your guests up there if you'd like.
Oh, I suppose that would be easier. Yeah, I'll be up on the third floor if you need me. And V will approach Atis, Anundur, and Daniel. And say,
Danielle.
we can talk more on the third floor. That'll be a better place to talk.
Well.
I might be going to the elevator.
Egad.
I miss Archimedes already.
Me too.
No, my familiar.
Me too.
We'll be in the lab if you need us.
And Desiree goes, okay, honey. Are you okay? You smell manlier for some reason.
We were in the swamp, and before we left, Mr. Shepard sprayed cologne on me.
Well, that's very considerate of him.
I suppose so.
No, would you like some water? I think we have a couple of vitamin water left.
Oh no, I can get everything for our guests. It's okay.
Just let me know if you need anything, okay?
No, of course, Des.
Shit's been
Sorry,
real
how's,
slow.
I can imagine. Do we have any patients I need to tend to?
Not at the moment. I think, Farah, do you have the patients logged in? And Farah goes, yes, all the patients that would have arrived, I've already taken care of. You can look at the case files later if you'd like.
Alright, I'll be sure to do that. I'll be in the lab.
Ugh.
So you guys enter the meth lab. I mean, the pharmaceutical lab.
Wow,
Yeah.
it's so bright.
Yeah,
Yes.
Daniel, you and Atis both walk in here, and it is certainly a very refurbished third floor. From what you recall, Daniel, the second and third floor was not claimed by the clinic until later on when they received more funding, and it's clear this is meant to be Valtimal's. It's not necessarily Valtimal's space, but they do live here, as you can clearly tell. While this is also a clinic as well, so they both work here, and if need, when it all is said and done, can live here as well. It is dual purpose. It kind of reminds you of some of the merchant shops or merchant buildings from the outer villages, where they would have the shop in the first floor, the ground floor, and then their actual living quarters above the second floor.
Ooh, that's very.
No skin of the human left. It's all been transfigured into the actual frog.
Yes. I just need the front game. It's skin, blood, and the heart.
And what you'll be able to. Sorry, the ambient stopped. I don't know what to do.
I'm crashing.
Oh, there we go. Welcome back, ambience. I believe an underground under the skin, as well as the blood, actually.
Is he outside?
You should be in there. I'll get things prepared in here.
Alright. I'll just.
Yeah, go talk to the 7-foot-tall Viking man and see how it goes.
Oh, I am sure. Believe me, I can talk to a man. Can I just go to an under, just grab the samples because he's not here?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, okay. 5 minutes
Specific
time
occult
skip.
Signs, they're like
Right.
biological, scientific perspective, but you can see, inspecting the skin, that there are elements of a written language. It is not necessarily glyphs, it's not necessarily something you can see with the naked eye, but you know it to be true from prior context when there is a sort of polymorphing or transfiguration effect. This appears to be part of a divine ritual. The only reason you can assume to be divine is from context clues. The boggars themselves were casting divine magic, and they were waving around a symbol of the black goat of the woods.
It's also like thaumaturges are, funnily enough, proficient in arcane, nature, occult, and religion.
All of it, yeah, not just all of it.
Yeah. Granted, not much knowledge about those languages. I can't read it to you. Could be also that I'm completely lying to you. But it looks more religious rather than arcane-wise. As for the body, that is the biggest question. It is transformed with divine energy. Symbols are written down to it, and the beings that were around were more religious, right? They were divine in sense rather than arcane in matter. It's also a matter of these temporary transformations. Polymorph is more of a temporary thing, but permanent healing wounds and transformations are more of an occult rather than a divine, rather than a arcane information I have.
No, this is good information to have. Are you sure the boggars are the ones that perform this ritual? I mean, it makes sense, but...
Again, the language is very divine in nature. it doesn't look something of a cult. The cult is more, I guess, rounded with their language. They're more pretty shaped, I guess you can say.
I
Meanwhile- And
might have somebody that could be able to decipher this, but they're not in town right now.
And if it is divine, the only way divine morphism can happen is if a group of followers pray to something to be, well, transformed by their deity. It requires a sacrifice, it requires a whole ritual.
Well, looking back at the place where we found the froghemoth, that's probably why the boggard stole the sheep to begin with. He uses a sacrifice to transform the froghemoth.
Right? It's good to connect dots. But until we're 100% sure, keep this as more of a hypothesis rather than a confirmation. Again, I would rather be I'm very curious to know what that writing is.
As am I. And I'm just gonna add it as a treasure, Percy.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll go now. Yeah, I am very famished. Is there a tavern around?
There should be a tavern outside the clinic. It's a couple blocks down, but if you're hungry now, you can just... the fridge should have some stuff.
Pacing around a bit, he will eventually leave the building and walk down to the Blackchapel district.
Gotcha. What is Vothmal doing?
I was gonna say, Vothmal's gonna like take some samples of the heart and just run some tests on it to see if it is who they think it is.
Very well. After about 30 or so minutes, the DNA appears to be similar to your makeup as well.
He's just gonna, seeing the result, look back at the heart with a little bit of a grimace. And dispose of the heart.
Very well, you open up the trash bin as it lands with a very pathetic thud.
Checking their email, just checking the reports that Farah gave him.
Yeah, you sink down to your chair. Yeah. You relax as much as you can in this moment after coming to the realization that you have permanently lost a sibling. There is no way to make up for what had happened in the past, and that is something you will have to live with moving forward. As you look over the reports, it appears to be minor cases. Stuff like headaches, nosebleeds, ringing in the ears, minor stuff that Farah and Desiree could simply hand over medication or sign off medication. You have several emails from other medical insurance agencies, as some of these clients most of these clients or the patients here do not have medical insurance, but the ones that do, obviously, they're contacting you about various details and all the very boring logistical stuff that comes with operating a clinic.
A divine ritual turned into from some boggards on the outside of the shepherd's plantation.
Very well. You send that email. No photos attached?
Yeah, V would have sent like a picture of the glasses.
Okay.
And they would blur out the picture of a heart because even they were like, ugh. But it's just just actual evidence. To send over.
I'm gonna look around. If there's someone, and I realize there's no one, so I chug the rum, and I'm like, damn demons. But that's besides the point.
No, nod.
You really do know a lot of rumors, much like me.
It's in my interest to know what's going on in Blackchapel. It's my home. I don't want anyone to mess with it.
And we make a fine deal. I pay you, give me information, keep your place clean. Most of the time.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. Listen, it's not my fault you make You sell one of the finest alcohol, and some of those bastards sometimes just decide to go here.
It can't be helped. Once in Blackchapel, always in Blackchapel.
Dude,
So, bro.
that hit the spot. How much?
And he'll look at the price. Let's say, a single gold will do.
Single gold?
I imagine you don't have your debit card or your dollars on you.
Oh, come on, I don't need debit cards. Frankly, I don't know much about technology in general.
It's fine, it's easy to track you that way. You're probably better off.
I know that. Here. Single gold. The prices sure have increased.
Yeah. Cheaper here than other places in Blackchapel. I'm trying to do my best.
And that's what you truly are doing your best.
And he will continue cleaning up, or like cleaning up like what the empty glass he has.
How much do you know about that clinic nearby?
No, black. I keep seeing here you get into fights with are the ones that get busted up doing their work, and they go over there and they get patched right out. The Pinkfish Ganya here is pretty good at what they do. Here they're even treating for polio now. Did some big research.
Heard about that. So what you trying to tell me? The bastards I beat, they're going to that clinic.
And they come back right here after they get patched up.
Ah, the cycle of life.
Indeed.
I'll drink to that.
He'll pour it after you finish. He'll pour you another one.
Still, right?
Oh, absolutely. He's got plates and bowls and spoons and cutlery and whatnot.
Say, give me some sausage as well. I'm very hungry.
Very well. He'll go out of his way. He'll heat it up for you a little bit. He'll put the plate down. He'll put a fork and knife down.
Weirdly enough, even if I go to this tavern not commonly, I don't really look at the other shops nearby. Is there a magical shop nearby?
Now back behind this tavern, if you want to browse goods, someone from the Wizarding Guild and others. But you better go there later in about an hour or so. Others begin to leave after 8 p.m.
Not good. Right, I'll finish the sausage and I'll go there. I need some scrolls still.
Very well.
Running out of them.
Like well trimmed and well shaped up. His eyes are overcast with shadow. It is just darkness around his eyes. He's wearing a laurel made of gold, and there is a gold energy emanating from him. He's extending his arms out on an almost like a Y shape. And beneath him, or standing to both of his flanks and also above him, are three deities. To his left is a four-headed older figure. To his right is a ashen-skinned, bearded ascetic, and above him is a clean-shaven, blue-skinned, almost like sage. As they are both, as the man in the middle touches his head, the man on the right is touching his shoulder, and the man on the left is touching his shoulder. And the figure in the center is clearly the one that is emanating with a very divine and holy light.
I think it fits perfect down here.
You know, after some acts of vandalism, trying to set up the establishment, a nice light in the darkness down here.
Vandals had any particular motive or depiction?
I am an outsider to these parts. I've never been to Zarea. I've not lived here. I call my home elsewhere. A lot of the people here would prefer if this establishment was permanently closed. They think, because of its past, a good cannot be born from it. I've had to deal with some ruffians. I've not been able to catch them. I think the last thing I would want is this art piece to be vandalized. I would like you to assist me in matters, both personal and religious in nature, and the people in Blackchapel say you were stumbling into the clinic. Again, call me naive, but I feel as though you were sent here from the heavens for a purpose, and it may be to help out this chantry.
Yes. How kind.
Am I naive to assume you were here to help? I would choose to believe in goodness and in the gods.
Yes, maybe. I will certainly help. Small piece of keeping Sarai safe is for them to find community. It feels as though some are more split off than others. Blackchapel Street, named after this building. It seems like a cruel joke.
You will nod. You will say yes. I would want this district to remember that this is a place named after a beacon of hope. That is my hope. My personal hope, at least. I will... Please stop by again, tomorrow, and I will inform you of what ails me and this temple, and perhaps we will build a community of healing and prayer with the coming days.
Sounds like a good idea. Very well. I'll see you again, Suleiman.
Farewell, Mr. Artix. Gods be with you. Concludes with you having slain some boggards who worship a foul fertility goddess. You slay a behemoth, a froghemoth, that may be, or at least soft confirmed to be, Vothamal's older brother, Rani, transfigured and disfigured by a divine, unholy ritual. You take with you a new companion in Daniel von Butcher, one you can't quite trust, but maybe have to, with similar enemies and circumstances about. You take your rest for the evening, and you prepare for the oncoming days, perhaps embarking on something of a holy mission, or at least helping the temple of the Black Chapel itself. And that is where we'll end the session.